This is a question I get from many buyers. Can we find a freehold townhouse or a non-condo home between $600,000 to $800,000? It's no surprise since this price range is where most people feel comfortable. To make this even more confusing, I've seen plenty of ads claiming you can find freehold townhouses in this price range in North York and along the subway line. But is that really realistic? Have you come across those ads and wonder if it's true? Since so many of my buyers have asked, I decided to tackle this question in this video. If you're in the same boat and curious about your options, this is a video you don't want to miss. If this is your first time in the Living in the Greater Toronto Area channel and you want to know everything about living in the Greater Toronto Area, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Toronto, Ontario. My name is Antonio and my business partner is Van. We get calls every day from people just like you, so whether you are moving in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out as all of our contact information is in the description box below. We'll be happy to help you make a smooth move to the Greater Toronto Area. People keep approaching me saying, hey, I saw ads showing townhouses in North York, Toronto for just $600,000 or $700,000, ideally along the subway line for easy commuting to downtown. First of all, I have no idea where these ads are coming from, but I'm sure many marketing agencies use this strategy just to attract buyers. But can you really get a townhouse in this price range in that area? Let's take a look at the actual average prices across the GTA. Here are the latest numbers from the Toronto Real Estate Board for January. Let's take a look at the average prices in the 416 area, which covers the city of Toronto. The average price for a detached home is $1,579,386, while a semi-detached home sits at $1,154,000. For townhouses, main focus of this video, the average price is $941,893. Lastly, condo apartments are averaging about $691,039. To put it simply, if you're expecting to buy a townhouse for $600,000 to $800,000, keep in mind that the average price in the 416 area is already $941,893. So that's quite a stretch. But to be fair, this is just an average. So let's dive deeper and compare specific regions to see if finding a townhouse in that price range is actually possible. Now let's break it down even further. In January, the average price for freehold townhouses in the city of Toronto was $1,182,597, clearly far from the $600,000 to $800,000 range. At this point, many excited buyers who called me started to doubt that I was sane and grew frustrated with the ads they had seen or heard about. That's why I want to address this once and for all, so you as a viewer can get a clear picture and avoid being misled. There are no miracles unless a seller is practically giving away their property without knowing its true value. Prices will generally stay close to the reported market averages based on actual sales. But since you click on this video, I'll be happy to take you even deeper into this part of North York. Let's take a closer look at the freehold townhouses currently on the market and what the real sold data tell us. So now let's take a look closer to North York, and we are exploring all the townhouses that is between $600,000 to $800,000. And as you can see, I highlighted the area in North York for the most part, and the border on the north is majorly at Steeles, and on the east closer to Victoria Park, and on the south on Lawrence Avenue, and on the west we have Jane. Generally, I would define this as the Great North York area, and currently we are looking at the active listings based on the freehold townhouse. And we have the range from $600,000 to $800,000, and let's see if we can find any listing at the moment. And as you can see, there are nothing match this criteria. And here we prove that there aren't really freehold townhouses currently between this price range. As of recording of this video in February 14, I'm just stating the facts that there are really not a single freehold townhouse between $600,000 to $800,000. And now let's take a look at the sold between this price range, and we have only 2 that were sold in 2024. And prior to that, there were only 1 sales that sold in 2023, and there were only 2 in 2022. And this easily telling you that there aren't really many freehold townhouses in North York that are pretty much less than 800,000. So now let's take a look at the most recent sale, which took place in October of last year in 2024. And this is 1966 Victoria Park Avenue. It is a 2+1 with 2 washrooms. And the size is between 1,100 to 1,500 square feet. Here's the exterior of the condo building. Here you can see a view to the back of the townhouse. While it's not a huge unit, it does have a modern look. Here you can see the back door, which faces the main street. This could be a concern for some as it may be busy and noisy. Here you can see the living room combined with the kitchen. While it looks nice and has plenty of windows, it also highlights the townhouse limited space. Here is the kitchen where the countertop also serves as a breakfast area with 2 modern stylish stools that help save space. The kitchen has a sleek modern design with laminate flooring throughout. While the townhouse is on the smaller side, it remains quite practical. Here is another look from the kitchen overlooking the living room. And now at the other end, you'll find the washroom and also the bedrooms. This is the master bedroom with 2 large windows that draws tons of natural light. And here's the other bedroom which fit the bed quite comfortably and also with a huge window. This is a standard 4-piece washroom. And this is the den area where you can see the electrical panel, but you can also use it as a study room or even an office. It also includes the laundry room that can fit the dryer and the washer side by side. In addition, on the top you find the terrace where you can utilize the space to host a barbecue or some open area. And here's the actual entrance to the unit, and they also have a parking space. This is one of the rare units that you can find in North York, which listed for $729,900 and eventually sold it for $725,000. Now let's take a look at the other only freehold townhouse that sold less than $800,000 in 2024, which is 3,316 Bathurst Street, and this is also a 2-bedroom+1 with 2 washrooms and also sold in October last year. The good news, this unit does have 2 parking spaces, and it was listed for $750,000 and sold for $733,125. Unlike the previous newer townhouse, this one is the much older townhouse. And let's take a look at the inside. It appears that it might be updated the flooring. However, you can see that this is a very practical layout, although it is still quite small. Here is the front of the entrance, and you can see that this is quite dated because it is an older townhouse. This is the view towards the entrance, and it does look like they have updated the house, which it looks quite decent. And here's a look to the bedroom, which you still get a very huge window and also can fit the bed quite nicely. And here is the second bedroom, which has a quite modest size. And here's the bathroom, which I think they already updated a bit. And the basement is finished with updated laminated floor and also with some pot lights. And it also features a backyard, which is quite nice and something lacking from the previous newer townhouse that is under $800,000. And here you can see the access to the rear lane where the parking is. And here's another look at the backyard, which you still get a decent amount of green space and also a nicely decked area. And here's another look at the overview of the living room and the dining area, including the kitchen right in the front. So here again, this is a rare unit for this price in North York. And as you can see, there are only 2 townhouses that were sold in 2024 between this price range of $600,000 to $800,000. And again, this is hard to find. Currently, there are really no freehold townhouse between $600,000 to $800,000 in North York. Now let's unveil the actual active listing in North York without limit. And as you can see, there are 27 active listings for all the townhouses here in North York, specifically the boundary that I set here. And through the list, you can see it starts from $898,000 and we have all the way up to $2,388,000. Again, don't let those ads or anyone tell you that there are townhouses between $600,000 to $800,000 townhouse in North York, which this isn't true. And here you can see the actual active listings average. It is currently at 1,395,000. So now let's take a look at the sold data of all the freehold townhouses that were sold. And starting from this list, we have at the top 70 Thomas Mullholland Drive, Unit 8, and this is sold just recently in February of 2025, between 2,500 and 3,000 square feet, and it was sold for 1,150,000. That is the most recent. In the month of January, we have only 5 sales, and the lowest price sold was 21 Montelo Drive, which is 890,000, which is still above 800,000, and the rest was hovering more or less in the 1 million mark. And in the month of December of last year, which is also very slow, we only had about, again, 5 transactions, and they are also averaging more or less into 1 million mark. And so forth. In November, it was also above 900,000. This is the most recent sale at 70 Thomas Mullholland Drive, Unit 8, and this is in Downsville, and it is a 4+1 bedrooms with 4 baths and 2 total parking spaces. It was listed initially for 1,249,000 and came down to 1,150,000. And this is one of the modern townhouses, and with a magnificent layout, all laminate flooring throughout with pot lights and pretty open layout. And here is another look towards the kitchen and the dining area. And as you can see, the washroom are pretty stylish and modern with updated stylish vanity with great finishes. And the bedrooms are quite modest in size and also with large and bright windows with fantastic light fixtures. And this master ensuite bathroom was on point with great modern design and again with great finishes. And here you can see a pretty huge walk-in closet from the master bedroom. And in this unit, you also get a very nice terrace area on the top floor. And here is also a double car garage at the back. And now let's quickly check on the property history. The seller was actually purchased this unit since 2018 for 878,000, and it was originally listed at the beginning of October last year for 1,387,000. Of course, it wasn't successful and was terminated in November, and was relisted and terminated and eventually reduced the price to 1,249,000 in November last year. And it took quite a while until end of January, so almost 100,000 less for 1,150,000. So definitely there is room for negotiation, and as you can see, it came down almost 8% from the price they listed last. And let's take a look at the next most recent sale at the end of January of 2025, which is 21 Montelo. And this is also a pretty decent size of a townhouse, as you can see here in the picture. And this is a 5 beds, 3 beds with 2 total parking spaces, and has a lot size of 15 by almost 77. So it is a decent lot size. And let's take a look at the inside. This is a quite spacious layout with a flush kitchen that saves tons of space. There is also newly upgraded flooring, and the layout is quite nice and open. And here's the balcony on the upper floor, and the bedrooms also quite large with updated floorings and newer windows. And the washroom are also updated. It looks quite modern and stylish. And also it has a laundry room upstairs as well. From the price history, it was sold quite fast. It was just listed in January 25 and was sold probably less than a week at the end of January of 2025. So it was first listed for 849,000 and it was sold for 890,000, up almost 5%, which is actually the realistic price. And here is a strategy where the seller expectation is right on point where they want to get, and that's why it's sold fairly quick. And if you look into the York University area, this townhouse for this price, I say with the updated conditions, this is a fantastic option, and it was a great buy, and that's why it sold just within 7 days. And I would say if you can find any freehold townhouse within North York that is just under 900,000, it is almost fair to say that is the lowest price point for a freehold townhouse in the area. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed this video where I address common questions from my clients like this one when they inquire about homes in areas like North York? If this answered your question, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future videos just like this. Also, if you have any specific questions about properties in North York, feel free to book a call with me at your convenience. I'll be happy to go over anything on your mind. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.